We good?
I think we're live.
We are.
Alrighty. I'd like to call to order the reorganizational meeting for the Village of McDonald, January 5th, 2021. Roll.
Mr. Harvey,
Here.
Mr. Lewis,
Here.
Mr. Fisher,
Present.
Mr. DeZee,
Here.
Mr. Schmidt,
Present.
Mr. Joins.
Present.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty and
and
justice.
justice for all.
You now have a moment of silence for troops serving here and abroad, and also the Lord's Prayer if you so choose. Our Father,
Our Father,
who
who art in heaven,
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom
kingdom
come,
come,
thy will be
will be
done
done
on earth
on
as
earth
it is
as
in
in
heaven.
heaven.
Give us this
give us
day
this day our daily
and forgive us
Forgive
our
us our
trespasses,
trespasses,
as we
forgive
forgive
us
those who trespass against us. And
Lead
lead
us
us
not
not into
into temptation,
temptation,
but deliver us from
but from evil.
For thine is the power.
And the power and the glory forever. Amen.
Moving on to approval of council meeting minutes for the December 16th, 2020 meeting.
Move to approve as mailed.
Moved by Councilman Fisher to approve these as mailed. Discussion? Roll.
Mr. Fisher,
Aye.
Mr. Harvey,
Aye.
Mr. Lewis,
Aye.
Mr. DeZee,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Joins.
Aye.
Moving on to approval of tonight's agenda.
Move to adopt as is.
Moved by Councilman Fisher to adopt tonight's agenda as is. Discussion? Roll.
Mr. Fisher,
Aye.
Mr. Harvey,
Aye.
Mr. Lewis,
Aye.
Mr. DeZee,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Joins.
Aye.
Moving to item number 6, election to offices. Do we have a nomination for President Pro Tem?
Yes, we do, Mayor. I'd like to nominate Ray Lewis for President Pro Tem.
Moved by Councilman Harvey to appoint Ray Lewis as President Pro Tem for 2021. Discussion? Roll.
Mr. Harvey,
Aye.
Mr. Fisher,
Aye.
Mr. DeZee,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Joins.
Aye.
Mr. Lewis,
Aye.
sorry.
It's okay.
Congratulations, Mr. Lewis.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Moving on to community chess representative.
Yes, I think we should nominate Mr. DeZee. We should nominate Mr. DeZee.
Mr. Lewis nominates Mr. DeZee for our community chess representative. Discussion? Roll.
Mr. Lewis,
Aye.
Mr. Harvey,
Aye.
Mr. Fisher,
Aye.
Mr. DeZee,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Joins.
Aye.
Yeah. Congratulations, Mr. Z.
Thank you.
Moving on to the item number 7, mayor's yearly appointments. This year, I'd like to nominate for fiscal officer, Lori Canada, mayor, secretary, office manager, clerk of courts, Amy Cunningham, secretary, receptionist, water billing administrative assistant, and tax administrator, Peggy Palmer, senior service director, Millie Ritz, income tax board of reviews, Joanne Fines, Ken Miner, and Lou Sobanowski, general operations foreman, Sean Stevens, building and zoning inspector, Paul Panko, assistant building and zoning inspector, Jim Borders, fire chief, Todd Stitt, assistant chief, Jim Petruzzi, captain, John Williamson, lieutenants, Joe Danko and Dan Jameson, special patrolman, Ron Pratt and Martez Penn, mayor's court bailiffs, William Woodley, Ryan Rogge, Walter Jones, Austin Buchan, Dave Smith, and Logan Sturgeon.
I move that we accept the mayor's appointments for 2021.
Moved by Councilman Lewis to accept the mayor's appointments for 2021. Discussion? Roll.
Mr. Lewis,
Aye.
Mr. Harvey,
Abstain.
Mr. Fisher,
Aye.
Mr. DeZee,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Joins.
Aye.
The next item I have are committees for next year. Safety committee would be headed by Mr. DeZee, along with Mr. Harvey and Mr. Joins on that. Parks and buildings would be headed by Mr. Joins, along with Mr. Harvey and Mr. DeZee. Finance and capital improvement would be headed by Mr. Schmidt, along with Mr. Lewis and Mr. Fisher. And the service chair would be Mr. Fisher, along with Mr. Schmidt and Mr. Lewis on that committee.
Move that we accept the mayor's appointments for committees for 2021.
Moved by Councilman Lewis to accept the mayor's appointments for committees for 2021. Discussion? Roll.
Mr. Lewis,
Aye.
Mr. Harvey,
Aye.
Mr. Fisher,
Aye.
Mr. DeZee,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Joins.
Aye.
Move on to item number 8, mayor's monthly and yearly financial reports. The monthly mayor's court report is computer fund 1, $50, court costs $115, city revenue from fines $850, Niles municipal court fines $264, parking tickets $135, drug fund $350, with the total to the city $1,764. The yearly report for costs were $4,226. Fines were $3,183. Miscellaneous receipts were $15,046.10. Total to the city, $20,837.10. Total to the state, $1,555. Total to others, $63. Total disbursement, $22,455.10. Moving to the mayor's yearly address, talking about finance, I really would like to thank all of council and the administration. It was a tough year financially. I know if we didn't get the CARES Act money and we had a couple other things kind of go our way, we didn't do a paving project this year. which was unfortunate, but we did manage to basically stay budget neutral this year, which is a lot to be said for, everybody here. Everybody worked hard, and I just want to thank everybody for all their hard work this year. Speaking of CARES Act money, this was a year I don't think that any of us expected with COVID. I think that, again, you guys couldn't have done a better job of dealing with things. It would change on a daily basis sometimes. I know we were changing our protocols, our finances, and everybody had to put up with a lot of things. So hopefully in 2021, again, we could stay, financially sound, and hopefully we have a better year. We can get our parks open full time, and get back to having a 4th of July festival and things that makes us McDonald. So I just want to wish everybody a happy new year, and hopefully things get better in 2021. Moving on to reports of village officials. Our village administrator, Mr. Dimitrovich.
Tom, you're on. There you go.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll keep it brief, but I do want to thank Roy Canada, Amy Cunningham, and Doug Ross, and all of council for their patience with me in the raising of the sewer rate necessary to make collections so that we can stay in the black for 2021. I know, like you said, there were some things that came in later, and we wanted to readjust. I appreciate that, and it looks like we're going to have a productive 2021 in that one line item. So thank you for everybody for working with me to the benefit of the residents of Village of McDonald and keeping those rates adjusted to where they're affordable and not burdensome, but fulfilling what our budget needs. So put that out there. And then like I said, I don't want to go on for too long, but I do want to thank all mayor and council and fire chief and police chief and office staff. It has been a very taxing year on all of us when we're in public service and we want to help and do things in our public. But you made some decisions that maybe not be well received, but I don't think that there's been a sitting administration that's had to confront something so devastating in the world, let alone our little community. So despite all of the pros and cons, I think you all handled it with great dignity and with great concern to whether it's our seniors or our kids or any part of our community. I think you did it well, and you kept all the interest on the safety of our community. So I loved working with you and seeing it come to a good end and minimal damages to our budget or to anybody's well-being. So hats off to you guys. Well done for 2020, and looking for a good 2021 with everybody. So that was all. Thank you.
Yeah. Comments or questions for Mr. Dimitrovich? Moving on to our police chief, Chief Woodley.
Thank you, Mayor. The December activity report has been dispersed to everybody. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. If not, I just want to wish everybody a happy new year.
Yeah. Comments or questions for Chief Woodley? Moving on to our fire chief, Chief Stitt.
Thank you, Mayor. My report's been submitted. If anybody has any questions, I'll entertain them now. If not, Happy New Year, and I hope 2021's better than the past.
Comments or questions for Chief Stitt? Moving on to our solicitor, Mr. Ross.
Just briefly, Mr. Mayor, just want to say sort of a congratulations to the collective group here. You guys had a really tough year with COVID to run a village. And for me, looking from the outside in, seeing the job you guys all did, I mean, you really did a great job under the circumstances in a tough year, both financially, pragmatically, and otherwise running the village. So, I mean, great job. And I look forward to working with all of you this year. It's my pleasure to do so.
Thank you. Comments or questions for Mr. Ross? Seeing no remarks from person or group present, seeing no new business, moving on to legislation. Legislation A.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have a first reading of a resolution authorizing the mayor, fiscal officer, and/or village administrator to enter into a facilities use agreement with the McDonald Local School District to permit the district to use the village's facilities.
Move to suspend the rules of council.
Moved by Councilman Schmidt to suspend the rules of council. Discussion? Roll.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Harvey,
Aye.
Mr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Fisher,
Aye.
Mr. DeZee,
Aye.
Mr. Joins.
Aye. And move to waive the 3-read process and pass the legislation on the first read.
Moved by Councilman Schmidt to waive the 3-read process and pass this on the first read. Discussion? Roll.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Harvey,
Aye.
Mr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Fisher,
Aye.
Mr. DeZee,
Aye.
Mr. Joins.
Aye.
You. Moving on to legislation B.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have a first reading of an ordinance for the purpose of amending previous ordinance number 3176-15 to revise the charges for the operation, maintenance, and replacement costs for the use of the village's wastewater treatment facility and sewage system effective February 5, 2021, which will be reflected in the second quarter billing in April of 2021.
Move to pass as a first read.
Moved by Councilman Schmidt to pass this as a first read. Discussion?
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone, as Thomas did too, for all your hard work on getting this prepared, especially with what came up at the end of the year with some changes there. Nice job with that. And I mentioned this before briefly about the increase, and it is an increase, but it's an increase that we feel is appropriate and isn't too extensive for everyone in the village. So that's all I have to say. Thanks.
Yeah. Roll.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Harvey,
Aye.
Mr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Fisher,
Aye.
Mr. DeZee,
Aye.
Mr. Joins.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
Motion for adjournment?
Moved by Councilman Harvey to adjourn. Discussion? Roll.
Mr. Harvey,
No report.
Mr. Lewis,
Aye.
Mr. Fisher,
Aye.
Mr. DeZee,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Joins.
Aye. Good night, everyone.